Arise and the Master's Scroll. So this is probably... If I had to pick one relic in the game that is the best relic in the game, it would be the Master's Scroll. I think we're going to just give this to... Let's give it to Mog, actually. Yeah, let's give it to him. Hero's Ring and Master's Scroll. Just watch what this does. I'm not going to explain what it does. Just kind of look. Just kind of watch next time we get into a fight. Punisher is just a staff. I don't really know if it does anything special. Actually, Bannon has one equipped. Way back in the day. So right off the bat, his attack command is now multi-target, apparently. And there it is. Master Scroll lets you attack 4 times in a row. So you can imagine that on somebody with an Ultima weapon. The bad thing about the Master Scroll, and we saw it before because Leo had it back in Thamasa before he was annihilated by Mr. Kefka. The bad thing about it is it does reduce the damage on each attack, which is fine if you're not using a spell or not using a weapon that requires stats, such as the fixed dice. So Setzer can get full fixed dice damage 4 times in a row. I think this is an empty room, but I'm not certain. There might be a treasure chest hidden somewhere in here. So the next thing you have to think of is you can pair the Master Scroll with the Genji Glove and get 8 attacks in a row, and it's amazing. For years and years and years, I've read discussions of this game, like what espers are best to equip on what people to max out the stats, and all these like esper strategies to really min-max the game, when all you really need to do is Master Scroll plus Genji Glove. Congratulations, you win. Nope, this room is just here to show you where the Master Scroll is, in case you don't know. Hermes sandals? There they are. Alright, no problem. This also has a little puzzle in the game that I'm not sure I ever would have found out on my own. I like to think that I would, because the clue is actually pretty clever. The clue to this puzzle is actually pretty good. Edgar's going to have a decent amount of hit points by the time he's done here. Okay, so first of all, I think there's treasure in here. Yep. So we can read the bookshelf. And it's all about the queen who's fallen in love with the Esper Odin. So, one thing I really like about this story is that it implies that Madeline and Modwin weren't the first pair of, like, human Esper pair in the game. That the queen and Odin would have been just as happy together. Except their story ended in I mean, I guess Madeline and Modwin, their story ended in tragedy as well, but at least they had a child first. We now have the Odin Esper, and the Odin Esper is pretty good, because it's the only... I mean, it teaches Meteor, which is a great spell, but it also gives you +1 speed. It's one of only 2 Espers in the game that give a bonus to speed at level up, and it's the only Esper in the game if you're playing the SNES version. And now for Invisible Switch. Ha ha ha! So there's an NPC, I forget where in the game, that tells you the queen stands and takes 5 steps or something like that, and it's referring to the queen's throne. 5 steps south of the queen's throne is that invisible switch. I'm not worried about this blue dragon, I don't think. Let's see how much damage this does. We'll queue up Akira to use here. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Blue Dragon's a cool game for Xbox 360. Has probably the best boss music I've ever heard in my life. I keep threatening my stream. I keep saying one of these days I'm going to get around to streaming Blue Dragon. So far I haven't done it. I don't know why he casts slow on himself. Oh, I guess that explains it. He's gonna ripple it onto me. So that's the blue magic I kept mentioning earlier that swaps all of your status effects, which is how you can move the Interceptor passive ability from Shadow to other characters if you really want to. If Strago was in this battle, he would learn Rippler at the end of it because it's blue magic, and then I can have him use that on Shadow to take Interceptor from him, and then I can have him use it on somebody else to give Interceptor to them. But yeah, this dragon basically can't do anything to me. I'm just not worried about it. This is also blue magic from the thing. This tsunami. Like, I don't think he could damage Celeste at all, really, because she's got that. She's got all this great armor on. Alright. That's a really cool sword. Really cool sword. In fact, I think good old Cyan can use that sword. So next time we pop Cyan in the party, we'll make use of that. So here's the queen. And our Odin Magicite that we just got turns into Raiden. And Raiden teaches Quick. There's Strength +2, which is nice. Like, really nice. Because we have a Strength +2 option that isn't Bismarck now. But Quick basically lets you enter 2 commands back to back. It's an astonishingly good spell, and there are some really fun exploits that I didn't know existed in this game. The same spell exists in Final Fantasy V, and last time I played the Final Fantasy V Fiesta, some people pointed out that Quick has some fun exploits. So I looked it up, and it turns out there are a few bosses in this game for whom those same exploits are useful. So here's what the exploit is. You cast the Quick spell, and then the battle completely pauses for everybody except the person who cast the Quick spell until they enter 2 commands. So you could, for example, cast Quick, and if you have your Genji Glove Offering character, they could take 8 attacks twice in a row, totally uninterrupted. Which is enough to kill anything in the game, by the way, up to and including the very final boss. So, I guess we'll cure your poison, lady. But what the programmers neglected in this game is there are certain effects that tick away in the background. For example, poison continues to tick away no matter what's happening. Every few, I don't know, like every X amount of frames, your poison damage ticks down and deals more damage. So, what you can do is, if an enemy's weak to poison, you can cast a spell on them, get them poisoned, get their HP sucking away, then cast Quick, then just sit there instead of entering commands. The battle will never advance as far as ATB goes, but a lot of those behind-the-scenes things will continue to tick down, and you can actually kill some of the super bosses in Final Fantasy V like this. It's the dumbest strategy ever. It takes hours. If you're going to kill the Omega weapon in Final Fantasy V like that, you're going to be at it for a long time. I think what we did is, after I killed Omega legitimately, one year in the Fiesta, I killed him legitimately as you can kill Omega. I mean, that boss is built to be... Like, whoever put that boss fight together knew the only way anybody's ever going to win this is through exploits. But I think we broke a bio rod on him or something, then cast Quick and put it in fast forward, and it took like 12 minutes in fast forward before Omega finally kicked off. Oh my goodness, I have the hiccups. I just ate a can of grocery store brand vegetable beef soup. That was my lunch today. I don't know why I said lunch. It's 1:40 in the morning. I'm recording this. I have no idea why lunch is what came to mind. I really should just wait. Oh, I gotta go down around the long way, don't I? Yeah. You can't teleport out of here because there's nowhere to teleport to. If we try the teleport spell, it's supposed to teleport you out of a dungeon, but in this context, out of the dungeon is still trapped underground under the desert, so no dice. Speaking of dice, I think the last thing we'll do today is bore everybody to tears with a 25-minute long... Aw, Edgar. Yeah, 25-minute long Coliseum video. I think that's where we're headed next. We gotta win some stuff in the Coliseum. There's not a lot in the Coliseum overall that's really good. I mean, we got the Minerva Bustier. You can get that pretty early and pretty easily. There's a couple other pieces of equipment that are really good there. Obviously, you have to go to the Coliseum if you want to get Shadow in the party. And you actually get to keep the Ishigeki. You actually get to keep the weapon that you bet. There's one more story mission that we'll be doing later in the Coliseum. But for now, it's just going to be boring min-max stuff. Oh my god, was that a 7,000 damage cat scratch? Oh, it's we're in a pincher attack. We're getting double damage on all our hits anyway. Yeah, we're gonna. That's why. I mean, the +2 strength is pretty good. Ooh, Mog got a lot of stuff there. All right, Mog, let's go ahead and get you started on. Could learn Ultima. I think I want him to learn Kiraga. Yeah, you know what? Let's get him started on Kiraga. I mean, he's not going to be... We're not going to be down here much longer. We're on our way back out anyway. He's only going to get a couple points of it. But then once Celeste is done with Phoenix, he'll already have a jump start on Kiraga, and we'll be good to go. So yeah, I really like this dungeon. It's a cool little area. Usually when I play the game, I really try to go down there way too early to get that Master's Scroll. Which, if you're an old school kind of cool dude like I am, you would know it as the Offering from back in the day. But hey, I think the Master Scroll is a pretty cool name too. So with that Gladius, now we have good options for Shadow. Shadow could equip that Gladius and not risk the whole Ishigeki hitting an undead target and it reforming. Really the difficult part of this, the monsters down here, some of them are tough, but really it's the bosses that are down here. If you don't know the tricks to beating those two bosses, if you don't know to use Sleep, Libra, Confuse, and whatnot, you could actually get yourself into trouble down here. And I know this is where that Master Scroll is, so for years I used to play this game and come down here just way too early. That was the wrong relic, my friend. I come down here way too early and just get my butt handed to me. Alright, man, we'll finish our journey to Figaro, and then we gotta turn right around and take it on back to Kalingen. Oh no, I don't want to stop here. Keep going. Yeah, there we go. Sorry you guys gotta sit through the castle sequence. If I gotta sit through it, you gotta sit through it. That's my motto. I've actually been picking on my Twitch chat all week while I've been recording this game. Because, like I said in the very first video, I don't usually do RPGs on the channel, but people do bug me from time to time to play more RPGs. So I've kind of been giving the people's hell about it a little bit. Like, you asked for this! This is what you wanted! Something tells me, though, people are just going to dig the series. Like, I think people are just going to enjoy it, so... Alright. We out. No more Figaro for us. What we need is to hop on the airship, fly north a little bit to the Colosseum, and we'll do a safety save outside the Colosseum. Go ahead and unequip everybody. It's fine. All we need out of life is my man Setzer. Alright, Setzer. we're going to go ahead, we're going to give you the Hermes sandals. There they are. We're going to give you the Master's Scroll way there at the bottom. No, you don't even have 2 sets of feet. How'd you do that? Are you dangling a pair of boots from your ears? You need fixed dice. You need a flame shield. And you need to be in the back row. It doesn't matter what esper you have. Now, the downside to this is Setzer does know some magic. And the Colosseum is an auto battle, which means if your character knows some magic, they'll try to sit there and cast whatever stupid spells they know that they think might be useful, which is never useful, they're just retarded. Let's go ahead and sort the inventory first. Alright, so I dropped a safety save, so if I lose this fight, I am going to reload. I do not feel bad about save scumming the Colosseum. The way the Colosseum works is stupid, and I cannot afford to lose this item, the Behemoth suit, if this outsider kills me. But if I get the first attack, chances are good. So that's not going to work. I mean, that's just not going to work. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. So we got the Snow Scarf. The Snow Scarf is one of the best pieces of armor in the game. It's the armor that Yumero comes glued on. Mog, Gao, and Yumero can use it. 128 defense, plus 10 evasion. It's amazingly good. So next time we go to use Mog or Gao, we'll be able to put that Snow Scarf to use. Having 2 Behemoth suits isn't useful unless you're going to use Realm and Strago in the party together. They're the only ones that can use it. And now we're going to bet some elixirs and fight a Cactuar. And again, if we don't do something stupid here, there we go. This is what we like to see. There's some good rolls. Ooh, that was... I mean, the Cactuar only has, I think, like 1,000 health or something. The thing about Cactuar is they have incredibly high evasion. So it's actually difficult to hit them with weapons, but the fixed dice can't miss. It always gets through evasion. So we're going to try to get 4 of these rename cards. The rename card does exactly what it says on the tin. It just renames a character. But we don't need to rename any characters. All the characters already have their perfect names. Setzer is, at this point, far and away one of our strongest characters, and he only gets stronger with level. That's the only stat that makes him stronger, is literally his experience level. No other stat on his screen factors into fixed dice damage. It's level times whatever's on the dice, pretty much. Which makes him a little more versatile in terms of what magic you can give him, but there's almost never a time where you want him to use magic. But it is kind of nice to have a character in the party that you don't need to give a particular esper to. Like, Setzer does fine without any kind... See, this is what we don't want to see. We don't want to see Thousand Needles. If we see that twice in a row, we dead. But it looks like we took down all of the Cactuars. No problem. We're going to be fighting so many of these guys later. We're going to be killing so many Cactuars. So now we got 4 rename cards. We get a full heal every time we fight, so... I mean, I've tried everything. I've tried going into fights with 0 MP, they give you MP. I've tried fights going in silence, the silence is cured. This is the tough boss here, and this is why we're wearing a Flame Shield. It's got a powerful ice attack, which can freeze you in place, and if you're frozen, you pretty much lose the battle. It's got a fire attack, which will heal us, because we got the Flame Shield, and it'll cure the frozen status if it gives it to us, which is right here, probably. But we're not frozen, it missed. Oh, we might kill it. We might get it. Oh, I think we got him. This thing's got like 20,000 health, but I mean, we've been getting pretty decent rolls on these dice. Uh-oh. Okay, so, this is the scary part. If this Fiend Dragon throws a regular attack at us, we lose. Right now. Heartless Angel is... You can't dodge it. It always lowers your entire party down to 1 hit point. It's famously used by Kefka, the final boss, and in fact, a lot of people don't even know that any other monster in the game has that ability. So now the Hermes Sandals are obsolete, because we've got the Miracle Shoes! Miracle Shoes put haste, protect, shell, and regen, and now these Fiend Dragons can't kill us. They just can't. We're in the back row with Protect, even if they hit us with Heartless Angel, we'll get enough ticks out of regen to bring us back up to a level where its regular attack can't kill us in the back row. That's 9999 right there. Can we kill it with one volley? I don't think... No, not quite. No, not quite. So we're going to get 4 sets of these Miracle Shoes. You can get as many of these as there are elixirs. So basically every clock in the game contains a pair of Miracle Shoes, is one way of looking at it. Beautiful. No problem. So we're not done with the Coliseum after this. This is just going to make the next few steps of the game go a lot smoother. So the more of these you have, because when you remember, you go into the final dungeon, you got to take 12 characters. And even with all the great stuff we found, and all of the duplicate equipment, like we got multiple Aegis shields, multiple Thunder shields, it can be difficult to outfit 12 characters. That's asking a lot. Setzer, that's... you have a regen effect on, you're fine. Don't worry about it, man. So what these Miracle Shoes are going to do is help us shore up some of our less powerful characters. We don't have enough Force Armor to go around, we don't have enough Force Shields to go around, don't have enough Minervas, whatever. The Miracle Shoes will help us make our less survivable characters get them through some tough boss fights. When we were kids, what we would do is, instead of taking 3 parties into the dungeon and outfitting them all, what we would literally do is only outfit one at a time. Every time we switched parties, we would unequip everybody's everything, switch to the next party, equip everybody's everything, and do it like that. And it takes forever. And it's clearly not the way the designers intended you to do the dungeon anyway. I think the dungeon's more fun if you go in with 12 characters that are outfitted, because that means you've played the game properly, pretty much. That means you've used all the characters in the game. You mix and match a lot of people. You've experimented a lot. You have a good handle on how everybody gets used. Most likely, we're going to bench Strago and Gogo when we go into the final dungeon. And there we go, man. 4 pairs of Miracle Shoes. We could get as many as we want. 4 is enough for anybody. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm glad I'm getting to share Final Fantasy VI with you, despite all my griping about RPGs on the channel. And really, when I think about it, you are all Miracle Shoes.
Shoutouts to Elisar for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who helps make my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.